So I'm doing here for Chris and all other guys and girls who want to enjoy CTR but can't for some reason. And that reason being that you're too accustomed to less technical kart racers like Mario Kart, Sonic racers, Transform, whatever thingy. I'm going to show you how you can play the game at least on normal. Normal in this case is easier than the normal in the original one, so you will be getting a little bit of head start. I'll be playing on this controller, it's DualSense. Everybody's accustomed to different controller. I love Sony ones, even though Sony is acting like... let's not spoil this video with calling anyone names. Also, excuse me for this disappearing parts of myself. Anyway, we'll start a new game, and we have two modes, Nitro Fueled and the classic one. For the new players, I recommend the Nitro Fueled, because you will be able to select hard, medium or easy difficulty. If you want, you can go classic, but there are some restrictions. Only one character is allowed through the entirety of this story mode, so you will be playing as one character only. That is fine to get the feeling of the character, but it's not fine if you want to test different characters and want to know what do you want from a character. If we're talking about the difficulty, then easy, medium, then classic one, and then the hard. Hard is hard at parts, especially later on in the game. But we will be going with Nitro Fueled and medium. That's the most people will use anyway, so you will have limited options of the characters you can select. As you can see, I've unlocked all of them. This can be done without any purchasing of in-game currency, but there is in-game currency, so yeah. And the best way to get that is to go online, but that's a whole different story. It's not necessary, you can do it offline, kinda. You have to be always online to get the internal currency, but you don't have to play online with your friends or your randos from the internet. So basically you will have Crush, Dr. Neocortex, Tiny Tiger, Coco Bandicoot, Dr. Engine, Dingodile, Polar, Pura. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 characters in total. All the other ones are unlockable. Some of them you get for beating bosses, some of them you get via the pit stop, and some you get for completing some objectives in the game. If you press X, you can see there's different types of handling your character. Usually it's set to the classic style. So Crash and Dr. Neocortex are balanced, Tiny Tiger and Dingodile are speed, Pura and Polar are turn-based characters, and Coco Bandicoot and Dr. Engine are acceleration-based one. You can switch that. For now, you have to pick one character you like visually, and that's it. I'll be showing everything with this iron checkpoint crate to, I don't know, show you what the game is capable of. There are skins for every character. Some of them are unlocked while you defeat your enemies in story mode or just any mode, and some of them are unlocked in pit stop. So yeah, I'll be playing as the regular iron checkpoint crate. Karts. You can have different bodies. As you can see, I haven't unlocked all of them because most of them are locked behind the pit stop options. There are two types of vehicle. Okay, three if we count this one. There are on-ground vehicles with no wheels. There are on-ground vehicles with wheels, and there are flying vehicles. By default, you have only these two options, the classic one and the Team Bandicoot one. I'll be showing you the classic one. It's the one that is reminiscent of the original game, and this one is from the Crush Nitro Kart, the PS2 game. This game includes tracks from both of those, although the Crush Nitro Kart tracks are altered slightly. So you can choose decals. Again, those are unlocked either by pit stop or by different means. And those are there are paint jobs, and there's this driving style. Classic is what you get for the character in the original game, and you can choose anything. For a novice, I'd recommend the balanced one, the acceleration one, and then yeah. So basically, acceleration is when you hit many walls and you want to get into your max speed faster, but notice that your max speed is reduced in comparison to the balanced one. And also you lose your turn ability. I don't know if this is a good rate, but most of the original speedruns for the original game are done on acceleration mode. So I will be playing on balanced at this point. And press ready. First of all, loading times. They are humongous and absolutely monsters. You don't want to jump from track to track in time trial mode or any other mode if you want to get the perfection out of your... And for some reason it does this. I don't know why it shouldn't do this. It's not Switch being lazy or something, but you can skip it with the X button. With the X button, which is on the top. There's this character, Uka Uka, Aku Aku, and different guys. You can skip this with the X button again. Basically, they will be telling you what you need to do, and after first 8 tracks, they will be giving you advices. You can press plus or the start if you're using any other options, whatever the name of this button is, and you can go to hints, and there's hints for everything, so you don't need to listen to the mask when it does its thing. You can just go and listen to those hints right away. Just skip the hints and listen to them here, because it shows you what to do. The mask's only telling you, but here it shows you the situation which you're in, and that really helps. And there are things like this, the hub. It basically tells you what are the different objects in the hub worlds. There are 4 of those, well actually 5 if you count the Gem Valley. You can do this. I'm pressing... Let me... ZL, yeah, ZL, the bottom trigger. I'm not mirrored, so it's the button that you'll see. If you press ZR, you'll be looking back. This is by default. Switch has configurable buttons, and I think that PS4 does too, because they're using this technique that is basically breaking the game. With the shoulder buttons R and L, you can jump. It doesn't matter which one you will press. Not at all. But it will matter later when you will be learning sliding. X is acceleration, unlike some games. Also, I'm playing... there are 2 different control schemes, and you can use this as acceleration, but I'm not doing that. The Y button is hard brake. If you want to stop immediately, this is the button you press. So you can see that it works pretty well. Circle, you can hear it kind of makes this beeping noise, but in battle on the track, this you will use to use your power-ups, like in Mario Kart or any other karting game, and this one you will be using for stopping the RNG. There will be this slot-like thing going on, and you will be pressing the A button to stop it. Yeah, circle, A button. So B is accelerate, A is choose the thing. And triangle changes the thing. You can see there's the meter here. I will show you in greater details on the track, because here I have only 2 options and I need you to see all 3 of them. There's the map, and you can drive around the map. There are 2 tracks available to me now, and they are roughly the same in terms of difficulty, but the game tries to lead you in a way that will increase your chances to learn things, and it is supposed that this is the first track you're going on. So let's go to the Crash Cove. So for the first thing, you want to just drive. You can press your B button and steer with a stick, like I do right now. Or you can do the D-pad. It doesn't matter. There are hazards as in any game, but to beat this track you don't have to do anything. There it comes. You press A once to stop it. If it's already stopped, it will shoot the thing. You collect the crates with the question mark. You press this sporadically to stop it, like I do, and then press it again to use when it's stopped. There are turbo pads, which will help you to do stuff, to get faster. There are these crates full of Wumpa Fruits, and once you get a Wumpa Fruit, you are getting faster by 0.1%. And if you get 10 of them, you should be faster by 1%, but you're faster by 2%. So yeah, 102%. At this rate I'm not going to win, so if you press the X button, it will cycle through these three things. This is a combined meter. The bottom one is how much do you accelerate, I guess. This is a turbo meter. If I go back and try to land on the turbo pad, you'll see it does nothing. Oh, come on. This only works when you learn how to slide. And there is a smaller one. You can see it goes up every time you jump. That's your jump turbo meter. It is the same, the bottom one is the same. Let me show myself. The bottom one, this one, it is the same as this one. They are the same. And this one, I'm so bad at this. And this one is the same as this one. It basically shows you how you jump. In the original you jumped a little bit lower, but here it's about 30 or 29 most of the time. It depends on the terrain. There is a speedometer, like your classic thing, and you can notice that it doesn't go very high, but when you're in turbo pad, it goes in the red zone. You can go beyond the red zone, but it will just be stuck there in the red zone. I will probably use this one, because it's the one which you really want to have. I might as well move myself, so it'll be easier to show you the things that I'm going to show. Here, maybe? So you can see the track, you can see everything. Let's restart this, and I'll show you that you can beat this just by driving forward, with no extra effort. There is a way to get turbo boost when you just start playing the track, and there is a way to get turbo boost throughout the track, but we're going to enjoy the story mode. You can just wait until it stops. Some of the power-ups, they drop behind you, some of them drop forward. This clock one makes everyone slow. Green bottle as well as red bottle, they go behind you, but if you press forward, either the stick or the D-pad button, it will go forward. Yeah, that was a boost, obviously. There are 3 levels of boost which you can obtain legitimately, and then there are different ways to obtain even more than that. I think there's about 7. See, I just pressed up and did that. You can throw TNT back, but if you're being targeted with a rocket launcher like this, you can use your green bottles and TNT crates to mitigate that. It all is being said by the mask, and there's nothing really to it. This is a shield, and as you can see I have 10 Wumpa Fruits, which means my power-ups became stronger. Green bottles became red ones, green shield became blue one, it doesn't go away, and stuff like that. TNT crates won't just hop onto your head or heads of your enemies. It'll turn to nitro crate, and that's an insta damage, not insta death, but you'll be hit immediately. And you get these coins every time you finish a track. 1 hub world, 4 tracks, then you fight a boss on one of the tracks. Usually the name of the track suggests that this is the boss's track, so pay close attention to the naming scheme. It's not very elaborate one, you just see Roo tubes, you know there's a boss called Roo, so it's gonna be his place. There's Papu Pyramid, and there's a boss called Papu Papu, so maybe that has something to do with him. And there's this cutscene. That cutscene is a part of this hub world.
You can go faster through turns by power sliding.
Now
Press the power slide button while
he tells you how to do this, but the power slide button is this one or this one. The one you jump. You can hop. What happens if you drive forward and jump? Nothing. How to slide? Let's try to drive, jump, and turn after jump, not before, after. You drive, jump, and turn. You saw that? There's a turbo meter down there. I cannot do this slower. Maybe I'll edit this and then show you in the slow motion what I'm doing, but I'm pressing the acceleration button, then I jump, and while I'm in mid-air, I'm trying to turn. This results into sliding motion. You don't have to do anything. You can keep on sliding. You don't have to press the other shoulder button to get the turbos at this point. It will be explained later, but for now all you have to do is drive, jump and turn. And if you see, like, okay, suppose you're driving straight into that wall and you realize you won't be able to do anything with it. You can try to turn like normally, or you can try to jump and slide. I'm pretty sure this is the mechanic that is there in various Mario Kart games and others. What is not there is this turbo meter. It will tell me about the door and stuff like that, about the keys. Let's not concern ourselves with that yet. What we're concerned with is this sliding mechanic. You can jump in midst of slide and slide again. If you want to change the direction, just jump another door. First two hub worlds is constant. Oh, you have to do this or you have to do that. But it's I'm already pressing 3 buttons just to drive around. You can use your stick. That's no different. And you can adjust your trajectory where you're sliding. So if you want to turn sharp, you can basically continue to turn inside, or if you realize you're turning too sharp and going to run into the wall, then you just use this stick or D-pad and turn into other direction. As easy as that. That's sliding for you. I've demonstrated you once how you can fill your gauge down there, the one that fills with green then orange, and you can see that your wheels are flashing. That is done to show you when you have to press the other shoulder button. Also, yes, you can press any shoulder button to do this. So you can jump with this one, and you can jump with this one. So if it jumps, it can lead to slide. So let's go and try this new sliding mechanic in this track. They told us about this, maybe it's worth trying. Let's try to drive knowing that we can slide. I won't use turbos, but I will use turbo pads, and I will use my power-ups. You can jump at any time. The good thing about jumping is that the higher you are and the longer you fall, the more acceleration you'll get after you land. So jump, just jump. It's good for you. It's good for anyone. Again, as you can see, I'm not doing anything particularly difficult. I'm just driving through the track. I'm using my weapons. It's your standard kart racer. I'm still in the second place though. This is the mask. I can use the mask to go faster, and it also protects me from all the hazards that might have been put onto the track by my competitors. You can press A again once you roll the bomb to detonate it. And you always have to be the first one to finish. It's kinda hard without using the turbos. But I told you I won't be doing that. I'm only sliding. And as you can see, I lost, but I lost not by very much. Let's see if it was our fault or not. Again, I'm just going to drive. And while we're at it, let's give us a little bit of a boost. We can do that by pressing the accelerate button, the bottom one, the B button, while we're at the start line. We can see the smoke is going out of our pipes. See? It's filling the turbo gauge, and if your gauge is full or close to full, if it's orange at all, if it's not green, if it's orange, when the green light is lit, the moment it is lit, then you'll get your boost. Let me show you. You don't have to press it repeatedly, but see? And I got a little bit of a boost. You don't have to do that repeatedly, but a good player, which I'm not, can use that to their advantage and basically squeeze a little bit more out of that boost. I got boost level 1, you can get boost level 3 right on the start. And there are places where you can... Oh my god. There are shortcuts on many tracks. I won't be showing you exactly where those are, but just know that they're there, and if you want a good enough amount of boost, you can try and use those. If you're using a mask, try and hit, just touch any amount of enemies you might have around. That'll help you. Also collect the Wumpa Fruits. And you can already see that the second track presents a challenge if you want just to drive. This one won't let you do anything I'm still the second. I'm doing my best. I've never stopped. I've been bombed once, but hey, that's not the reason I should lose a second time on the second track in the game, right? Guess it's time to learn the turbos. As I showed you, you drive forward, jump, and you can correct your position with these buttons after you get to a sliding thing. Once that happens, you can press the other shoulder button if you haven't released the first one. I drive, I press the shoulder button, and while I'm in the air, I'm starting to slide, and there's this gauge going on, and it feels, as you can see. If you press the other shoulder button when it's orange, you are getting a boost. You don't have to watch at that thing. You have to watch at your wheels if you want that. Or you just can get accustomed to this. And you can do up to 3 turbos in a succession. Let's try that. It's not mandatory to do all the 3, but you can already see that this works. And I'm challenging the first one, and now I'm the first one. I have never been first one. I'm just using the turbos. Also, you don't want to drive on the side roads. Yeah, you don't want to collect those things. And you want to jump whenever you can. There is also a second option to avoid sharp turns. You can just jump, like doing this, and it'll help you as well. Sometimes it's unavoidable and you'll be lost again. What I can say about this one, I was driving like this first. The second, look at our times. They are better. I can get to 33 seconds. And again, I'm getting points, so it's all part of the training. I'm playing right now just like you will be playing on your first playthrough, probably. Let's put everything we've learned so far. Jump, boost, boost. Jump, boost, boost. Jump, boost, boost. You can combine those. All I'm doing is jumping, sliding, and boosting. And as you can see, the fire that is going on from my car, it's not ceasing, it's persisting. The closer you get to the right side without overweighting, I guess, the better boost you'll get. And you can already see that this is... See, you can jump if the turn is too sharp. This helps immensely. Again, we're not using shortcuts yet. I'm not using any weapons. If anything, using weapons is detrimental to your speed and concentration. So if you can avoid doing that, do that. And you can see my time is down to 32 seconds. That's not the best I can do on this track. The best I can do on this track is probably a sub 26 seconds per lap. That's not too impressive, but I've beaten the Velo Ghost. But that's using shortcuts. So the game told you about sliding but not boosting and expects you to win. It kind of forces you to learn that. And to do that, you can go and see the options, the hints. Press your plus button, go to hints and select the hints during the race. And everything you can find there is relevant. First hub and the 2 tracks of the second hub will trigger in these things. You can see that Aku Aku and Uka Uka are being switched in between, but that's because this character, it doesn't have a side. It's neither bad or good, so they're being switched, and the masks on the tracks are the same. What we can learn in the hub world? We can learn that you can jump everywhere. We don't see the jump thingy, but it is there. And also there will be things like golden eggs and stuff spread across the hub worlds and the tracks, which you can jump for and get those. I won't spoil what they do, but it's worth it to at least try to get them. There are 4 eggs and I think 16 crates. Guess which is doing which. Let's go through the hints, the gameplay hints.
When you get a TNT crate on your head,
I wanna make it shut up. So the TNT crate disposal shows you what to do if you get a TNT crate on your head. You just jump with one of these buttons and it'll be off you after the 3rd jump, if you can manage to do that. Not every track is a straight line, and basically if you jumped and there's a downhill, you won't be touching the road for a very long time, and by the time you actually touch it, it might be too late to jump the 2nd time. This one tells you about Wumpa Fruits. You'll see it for yourself. Your weapons get better, your kart gets a little bit more boost, but it's irrelevant when you're just driving through this story mode or competing with your friends. It doesn't matter much. I wouldn't go as far as saying, yeah, that thing is absolutely necessary. It is necessary if you're a speedrunner or trying to get a good times. Power sliding. You drive forward, you jump, and in mid-air you press the directional button, or use this one, and you start to slide in the direction you've chosen. It doesn't matter what your angle is. If you're going to do this side, you will be sliding this side, even if there's a wall here. The game doesn't care which angle you're at. It will start driving you relative to your position, which makes sense, right? Turbo boost. It's the same as sliding, but you're pressing your other button. Again, you're driving, you're making your kart slide, but you can release this directional button while you're sliding, but you can't release this button, the jump button you've pressed. If you do it, you'll lose your gauge that is feeling right there. You'll lose it. You have to hold at least 2 buttons, acceleration button and the jump button, the first that let you go into sliding. And then you have to press this button when the bar has filled. It's described here, but I don't know. Is it enough? Brake slide. This is another thing. When you press brake in real life on your real vehicle, you expect your car to stop. But what it makes, a second thing it makes, when you press a brake and also try to navigate with your directional buttons or the stick, it will make you turn much more sharply. So if you can't handle the 90 degrees turn or something, you can just stop and turn. Be warned, this can be very sharp, and it can be made even sharper if you not only hold stop, the Y button and the directional button, but if you also hold down, so you kinda use the diagonal thing, then it'll turn even sharper. And if you're in mid-air during the stop, like jump and then stop and then press down and right and down or left, it'll be even more sharp. I guess that's advanced technique, but it has nothing to do with playing through the game. It won't help you to beat the game, because you don't need it to beat the game, at least on normal. Hang time. This game has Hangtime Turbo. Basically, he jumps, hold the jump button, and the longer you're in the air, the greater your turbo will be. So you drive and jump and hold. Look at this. He jumps off the ship here. If he would start a drift there, not only he'll be getting the turbo he's getting right now, like this one, but he'll also be getting the turbo from... It's potentially possible to get the turbo from the sliding. So you can use a high elevated places like this to get your turbo from falling. You can see the gauge, the small gauge, the vertical one fills. Look at this, it fills up. Yeah, and then he gets turbo, depending on how much it's filled. But you can also start sliding here. So if you press left or right here, and we'll be holding it while you're landing, then you'll get your sliding. And from the sliding, you potentially can get the turbo boost as well. So you'll be chaining 4 boosts at max. CDR challenge is collecting letters. It's a different mode. You beat the same tracks, but also have to pick 3 letters, C, T, and R. Relic race, you collect these crates. It doesn't matter. You won't be playing this in an online match. And crystal challenge is the thing I hate the most. You have to collect 20 crystals on 4 different arenas, and man, this is tough. The challenge is the same for every kind of difficulty you have, so it doesn't even matter if you choose to play on easy. You can see the progression, different hub worlds, and you can see what did you get, how many tokens you have, how many relics you have. You can get the overall percent of what you're capable of, what you achieved. At the save load screen, that green thingy down there on the map, right next to the star, they're different. It goes like this, and there's a green thingy here and a star here. So the green thingy is the save load screen. Let me show it to you. So yeah, I'm just driving and stopping, and the turn is very sharp. If I would prefer to jump while stopping, let me show you. You fly a little bit further when you're jumping because there's nothing to stop your movement, but you're getting an 180-degree turn. Much easier. If you just stop, it's almost that, but no. It's up to you. This is the save load screen. You've seen it once. You just drive to here, wait a little bit, and you can save 4 slots. You have your percentage, and it's possible to go beyond 100, which I didn't do because I have to beat all the relics, which I didn't do. Okay, there's the next track. I think I've described everything there is to know about this game to play it casually, so let's go to the mystery caves. I will show you one of the shortcuts, and I'll show you different things that you can do about the shortcuts and how to not botch yourself going into a shortcut and deciding whether yeah, I'm going to train it myself on my own, or I want to finally try it on an online match or in-game, in story modes, in time trial mode. Basically, you learn to drive, and it's possible to beat certain objectives without beating them, if that makes sense. So I'm just driving. This is a shortcut. You can drive normally. I will switch to the speedometer, and you can see I'm in the green zone. I'm very slow. Normally I'm going in the yellow zone, and if I boost, I'm going into the red zone. Yeah, that was the blue shell of the Mario Kart. You want to jump from every elevation you got. Probably even 2 times, like just immediately doing this. Sometimes it's better to do the double jump. You just do this and you get a little bit higher. That's due to a coding error in the original, which was ported to this version. See, I've tried to jump. I had to jump only 3 times, but I couldn't make it. There was water, there was this acceleration I had, and it prevented me from jumping the 3rd time. The default thing, the default view, it is this one, the gauges, but it can be set up. You can press X, go to the mode, like preferred boost bar, classic, speedometer, or nitro fueled. Nitro fueled is the one I'm using right now. This one, like going like this. The classic one shows you nothing basically. There's only one short rectangular thingy gauge, and there's no vertical one. And the speedometer is speedometer, map, and the vertical gauge, which is the most info you can get from that. It's not very convenient to learn when to press your other button to get a boost, but at least it can show you the info on where you are and how the terrain affecting you. It's a good way to learn the limits of the road, whether it's the side road or the actual road. You can skip the intro cutscenes from every track, and you can disable the nitro wheels, these glowing wheels which are showing you and me when to turbo boost, and you can turn on and off minimap. As I've said, there's control schemes, it's self-explanatory, it shows the Pro controller, and there's vibration option, which doesn't work if you use a DualSense, wireless DualSense. Wired it works, wireless it doesn't. So let me drive in this mode. You might be wondering what will happen if you fall down. Well, you'll start a little bit further down the road. And every time you feel like you see something that goes up even a little bit, try to jump off of it. It will help you. Sometimes it won't work the way you've intended it to, but it is possible to use it to your advantage. The possibility is there. This track used to be very difficult for me, and of course explaining how it all works makes me even crappier at this. Okay, that worked pretty well. They almost got me. You can try to jump 2 times. One at the foothill and one at the very top. And sometimes that leads to your jump being a little bit higher. Also, I will play another track keeping my joystick like this, so you will notice how I slide my finger across the D-pad and the buttons. Of course, but we have to wait for the loading time. I think this way is even better. It will be easier for me and for you. Let's do it this way. Can you see it? I'm not touching the bottom ones. Only once to change the camera, and then I'm not using the sticks as well, but all the movements here you can do on the stick, and that will be kind of sliding, which I'm doing with my thumb, my left thumb. And again, it does this. Usually it's once per, I don't know, 3 hours it does this. You just relaunch the game and it does the thing. You can see how I'm adjusting my position with the D-pad, because it's digital and you can't be very precise with it. But on this track you can jump real high thanks to these ramps. and every time you jump you're getting boost. Notice how I try to feel the gauge that feels when you're sliding, and if you miss it then no boost for you, and you've broken your slide and you have to start over. So if you missed once, it may be nothing, but it might be better to redo the whole sliding thing. Also, this time is quite shitty. You can see that I'm never releasing the acceleration button, the B1, and I'm almost always holding the jump button, because I'm always sliding, and I'm using the second shoulder button to give me a boost. This happens when you encounter barrels, weasels, I don't know. Сейчас, секундочку. Anything that can hurt you, like the environmental damage. And that also happens when you... that happens when you're hit with the time, with the clock power-up. Or should I say debuff, because it's a power-up when you're holding it. If someone else is holding it, it's a debuff. And it doesn't really matter if you're using the shortcuts. If you can boost, it's fine. You can do it without the boost, but that will definitely... it'll definitely be harder. I like to do this. Basically I'm done, but... And let me show you what are the boss battles. As you can see, we're at the star. We can refight this boss however many times we want. This will be done on the track with the name that kinda sounds like the boss's name, like I told you, and there will be only you and the boss will be spitting all kinds of bullshit on the track. TNT crates, flasks, rockets, bombs, the last boss will spit everything at you. Let's see how he fares against me. You can place your power-ups on these turbo pads, and most of your enemies will try to ride across them, and then guess what's happening? Yes, they go boom. Also, it's a great thing to place your power-ups, your TNT crates and stuff in a place that has tight corners or something, so there are greater chances that it will explode. And as you can see, I just got my own thing. I didn't notice it. Green on green is a good strategy, especially if you're not accustomed to this and your attention is divided. See, no TNT. There's this shortcut. You can go here, but then jump. If you don't have enough turbo, just jump. Bosses aren't using shortcuts whatsoever, so that's a good way to cheat them out of their victory. I might want to do a shortcuts video, but there are those online available already. If you want one personally from me, that's fine. Just tell me so. Let's not cheat this time. That was rather easy because Ripperoo was behind me the whole time. If I were to wait until he does his thing and makes me behind him, that's the common thing in all the tutorials you will find online. The guy playing the game is so good that he never gets into a situation like yours. Okay, what happens if you're behind the boss. And you're not really good with turbos. You can probably boost one time. You can't do boosts here, and you want to rely on something else. Let's do only one boost. See, he's always there. Luckily, the game gives you a way to mitigate that. Don't do that. If you have a TNT crate on your head already, it'll explode when you hit the next one. But the game helps you with these. The first lap wasn't that great. Let's try the second one. The game really helps you to overcome the boss. But if you cannot maintain the superiority on the track, it doesn't even matter. See? It is again the first one. Try not to catch his blocks. And shoot all the three at the same time, because there's a chance that by the time the rocket hits him, or will be close to hit him, he'll spit another TNT crate and it'll be over. Because the rocket will hit the TNT crate instead of him. That's not what you want, and that works for every boss. Once you're in the leading position, your options are limited and you are stuck with TNT crates. But as you can see, even if you're not constantly doing stuff, it's possible to get him. And in the end, you can do this to kinda cheat him out of his victory. He was going to be the first, but you know the shortcut, and you just jump through it without releasing the button. Yeah, you have to learn to play this game, but it's so rewarding to do this. I want to show you what you can do, what you can achieve if you strive to do the very best on a particular track. You have to learn it for several hours or maybe several days, but you'll feel how you're getting better and how all the enemies, all the bosses are no threat to you anymore. I will be trying to do every trick in the game I'm aware of. It doesn't mean this will be the best run, but it will be quite a decent run. Okay, let's see. First of all, you can see how you can squeeze more out of this, but let's say you don't have it. It doesn't matter, you can't get into the leading position and just drive. Of course, you have to know the track to be effective, to drive on the inner side of the track, to save a little bit of time here and there. You have to go in here. See, I've just lost the time by driving very slowly there, but I'm still the first because of the boost I got at the very beginning, and I haven't even done anything to kickstart myself at the very beginning. If you can go through a shortcut without losing your flame, it's even better. I lost it. First time I was too slow to maintain the speed, and then I lost the flame at the very end. Every time you boost, you get a little bit more of reserves, so-called. And the more you boost, the more reserves you have, and when you get the flame, those reserves are burning. So the better your boosting mechanic is, the better your performance is, the faster you go, and the faster you go, the better boosts you get, and the better boosts you get them. These times are horrible, but you can see they are, what, 13 seconds ahead of Ripperoo. which is more than enough to beat him and every other boss. I hope I showed you how to play the game, not just in words the game puts it in, but in the words of someone who played the game and beaten the final boss several times, even though I'm not even close to getting good times worldwide comparable to players from all over the world in time trials mode or here. But you've seen my 100% file on hard. That means I'm at least capable of that. People running this game will tell you that that's not a great achievement, but for someone who haven't played anything but Mario Kart and stuff like that, the turbo mechanic can get in the way of enjoying the game. But once you've learned it, you can travel through the hub world at a very high speed. You can do tricks here. You can even start speedrunning once you know the layout of the hub world. It's all so easy to make around and go into the thing again. Okay, no commentary. It was 131 point something. Let's try to get it lower. Or we won't. This is how it works. If you don't get it from the very beginning, you can restart. And it's fine. The game doesn't punish you for restarting. You can cheat yourself into the preferable start when you know you got your start good and continue from that. Of course, you will be doing all the track from the very beginning, but at least you will know when to try and stop or do anything. It's not necessary to do the shortcuts, like I said, and as you can see, I'm being very fast. The flames, they aren't going away in between the turbo pads, because I'm constantly boosting again, and when I'm not boosting, I'm jumping. Yeah, you can lose your flames by just hitting a wall like that, but if you hit the wall, not every wall will result in immediately burning your reserves, so try not to do that, but don't despair if you did it. It's not necessary to hit all the turbo pads, it's not necessary to keep the flame going, although those who deem themselves good will tell you otherwise. No, it's not the truth. It's not true that you have to do anything except basic turbo things. You can see the time is the same, but I haven't used the shortcut, which saved me from losing last time. Not last time, but the time I beaten him. And his time is pretty much the same, 144 point something, so you know what to strive for. He won't get faster than that. He can get slower if you hit him, but not faster. And for every boss, you know that you will know with time the time it takes him to finish the track. So good luck and train. Bye.